Give me the papers, give me the papers. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this one, we're going to be covering the fight between Charles Rosa and Kevin Aguilar, which will take place in June 14th. This is the prelim card, obviously taking place in the Apex facility in Las Vegas. Before I go in any further, I would just like to remind you guys that if you subscribe, I'm going to be posting other videos for the other prelim predictions and the main card predictions after this. So if you want to see and be notified when I post, hit the subscribe button. It helps me out and you guys can check the videos out. But I want to get into this fight. Before I get into it, I want to cover the odds because I know you guys are interested. Sticky note right here. Charles Rosa is currently the underdog, sitting at plus 160. Kevin Aguilar is the favorite at minus 185. I wonder why. His nickname is the Angel of Death. Was that the devil? Dude, the Angel of Death, man. Listen, if you can have any nicknames like the Beast, I'm like, oh, okay. The Angel of Death, dude. That's the scariest nickname I've ever heard out of any fighter in the UFC. But, obviously he has an amazing nickname, but I want to start with Charles Rosa first. He sits at 5'10", obviously the featherweight division. 33 years old. He's got a record of 12 wins, 4 losses, which is a respectable amount. Not too many losses, also considering that 3 of them have actually been from decision and only 1 via knockout. So if I could describe his fighting, I would suggest that he's more unlucky than unskilled, because usually people with 4 losses could have 3 by knockout, and I'm like, okay, dude, like you're like a street fighter. If he lost 3 via decision, I mean, that's just kind of telling me that, he went the distance and it was anyone's fight. So yeah, his nickname's Boston Strong, coming out of Boston, Massachusetts. Absolute tank. He's got 12 wins as well. Of his wins, he's won 3 via knockout, technical knockout, 8 via submission, and 1 via decision. So again, this is a fighter that, obviously trains with American Top Team. He is one that, if he wants to lay you out, he'll lay you out. But at the same time, he's more of a fighter that is going to go for those submissions. So specifically, I want to talk to you guys about how he's entering Fight Night Saskatoon. So he's actually coming from a loss very recently in May. This was the Ferguson Gaethje fight where he lost against Bryce Mitchell via decision. And then, before that, he won against Manny Bermudez in October 2019 in the first round via an armbar. And then before that, he lost against Shane Burgos via TKO. Charles Rosa is a fighter that reminds me, he's sort of in the situation of Hannah Cifers, because we know that she recently lost against Mackenzie Dern in the same event. And so this, when a fighter comes from a recent loss, again, it really, man, it can really be a key factor. He can either use that to fuel him to destroy the Angel of Death, Aguilar, or he can actually be scared, be a bit scarred from that loss via unanimous decision. I know that if I had lost via unanimous decision, and I'd lost, of course, the majority of my fights via unanimous decision, I would not want to leave it to the judges, because I've lost 3 of my 4 fights in that way. So again, he's a good grappler. He's a great skilled grappler. So let's check some of this guy's submissions, huh? Boom. Oh my. Bang, bang, bang. Oh my. Vicious. Look at that. Oh my God, dude. Look at that. Just now we saw him absolutely charging. And then after that, the fight was taken to the cage, and then he was able to get an obscene hold. Look at this. Oh, he slept him. Look at him tap. Oh my goodness, dude. That's ridiculous, man. The skill you have to do something like that. The skill you have to do something like that is ridiculous. He had his knee. Look at that. Look at that. His leg is hovered over. He has him hooked with his forearm, and he's just pulling. That's insane. That's a crazy lock right there. And another one, look, boom, 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 gets the arm, armbar right there. Look, he's trying to get out. He's holding the grip. Let's go of the grip, got the arm, and then that's a tap. That's insane. With the armbar, it's so crucial, like, of holding that grip. Like, the moment you lose that grip is the moment where you lose your arm. Like, you're going to have to tap or your arm is broken. The way that he was able to get that deep armbar, holding him down like that, arching his back, is ridiculous. That takes crazy skill. But at the same time, he doesn't just win fights via submissions. He also wins them via knockout or technical knockout. And this is an example. Look at this. Boom. Look at him. He's just mauling him. Look at that. Bang, 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 bang. Look at that. Just like a crazy jab. Look at that, dude. Relentless power, dude. That's just a machine. If someone came at me like that, just like punching me like that because I did something wrong, like, I would just, like, I don't know what I'd do. I'd just probably ask anyone for help. Like, I'd be like, dude, this guy's a tank. Yeah, so Kevin Aguilar screams danger. The angel of death. This guy's a tank. While he doesn't have the reach advantage over a guy like Charles Rosa, he has got a record of 17-3, which is crazy compared to Charles Rosa. He's got more wins, less losses, which is insane. But at the same time, a really interesting fact to look at is that of those 17 wins, 10 have come from knockout or technical knockout, 1 via submission, and 6 via decision. So of his losses, 2 have come from knockout, technical knockout, 1 have come via unanimous decision. And listen, this is a fighter that, while he seems like the favorite and while he has that strong knockout power and has the ability to take it via the decision, he's won the majority via a decision. Of his 20 total fights, 7 have ended up going to the decision, and he's managed to win 6 of them. While Charles Rosa, on the other hand, of his 16 total fights, he went 4 to the decision and he lost 3. So that's just a fact to consider, which I think would make him the favorite. But something that needs to be considered about a fighter like Kevin Aguilar is that he is coming from 2 straight losses. So it's like, yeah, okay, he's only had 3 losses in total in the UFC, but 2 have come from his latest 2 fights. So could it have been that he's faced people that weren't as good before? So that's just something to consider. Specifically, he lost at UFC Fight Night 154 against Dan Ige via decision. And at the same time, and then later on in February 23rd at UFC Fight Night 168, he lost against Zubaira Tukhugov by TKO in the very first round. And so, again, the psychological aspect, like someone who's coming in from 2 losses of his latest 2 fights is not going to be the same guy that has won the previous 9 fights. Because as we know, before the 2 losses against Dan Ige and Zubaira Tukhugov, Kevin Aguilar had actually 9 wins in a row. He hadn't lost since 2015. So going into this fight with 2 losses, there has to be a psychological toll that is messing with him, but I think he has a hold of him. Honestly, his knockout power, I think, will favor him in this fight. And at the same time, even if it were to go the distance, I think he has it in his bag. The only way that I see Charles Rosa winning is via submission. We know how well he is with his holds. We've seen it. But at the same time, I feel like Aguilar could lay him out before the fight ends via knockout. And if it won't end like this, I think he could easily win this via unanimous decision. I don't see Aguilar going for submissions against Charles Rosa. Rosa's a better wrestler. He's a better grappler. And at the same time, it's just not part of Aguilar's game too much. And while Aguilar actually lost 2 of his 3 via knockout, technical knockout, I don't see a fighter like Charles Rosa, getting that crazy, Sean O'Malley or Cody Garbrandt knockout and just walk off, because he's only won 3 of his 12 via knockout. Having said this, I want to see some highlights from the Angel of Death. Okay, so this was Kevin Aguilar against Tan Le. And boom, digs in. Digs in like a tank. Look at him. Holy crap, man. Oh, shit. Yo. That spinning kick was lethal, man. The way he ducked over it was crazy. And now he's charging back. Boom. Going. Backs him up. Get back. Oh, God. Oh, my goodness, man. That was crazy. That was insane. So he went for the spinning kick, and then boom, he got clipped. Because you can see Lee just like slowly just like going like, oh my God. And then right there, he sees it, charges, backs him up into the cage, boom, 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 starts swinging and clips him right in the temple. And then hammer fist. Dude, that overarching right from the Angel of Death, Aguilar, that's what I think he's going to go for. That's how he's won a majority of his fights. And so if Rosa doesn't watch out, that right hand could stun him. The way he connected to the temple there was absolutely insane. Look how well he connects. Look how well he connects on the temple. Boom! Oh my goodness. Laid him out completely. Laid him out cold. That's the type of... Dude. Okay, so how do I think this fight is going to go? I think that the Angel of Death has it in the bag. I mean, Charles Rosa is a really dangerous grappler, wrestler. But at the same time, Kevin Aguilar has the majority of his wins that have come from a decision and has a majority of his wins having come from knockout. And we've seen this guy's knockout power just now. Like, honestly, I think this fight could end in a knockout. If it doesn't end in a knockout, it will end via unanimous decision, I think, with the win of Aguilar, because he's won a majority of them, and his striking power just can't go unnoticed. And so that's who I think is going to win the fight personally. But at the same time, I'm interested to know who you guys think is going to win the fight. Comment down below who you think is going to win between Charles Rosa and Kevin Aguilar. At the same time, if you made it this far, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because I'm also going to be making other fights of the preliminary card as well as the main card ahead of UFC Fight Night Saskatoon. And if you've made it this far and you subscribe and I see you guys in the next one, then I'll see you guys in the next one.